one of the big debates in the Libertarian Party right now is, are we more likely to connect with conservatives, disaffected Republicans that look at $24 trillion in debt and a radical expansion of sort of the power of the presidency under Republicans, Trump and Bush in recent memory, just radical expansion of presidential power.
Yep.
And of course, Barack Obama after Bush and Joe Biden after Trump will say, okay, I got it.
Yep.
I'm running with it. So there's lots of reasons to be a disaffected Republican.
Absolutely.
But I still think that there's tremendous opportunities, not to talk so much to progressive politicians, but to talk to young people who think that AOC is cooler than Donald Trump. We should be talking to those
Absolutely.
kids.
Oh my God, we're dropping the ball if we're not. And I was just actually talking about this with, I think it was with Brad. I grabbed coffee with Brad beforehand. And it's like, when you look at AOC, what is she doing? She's having, these Twitch conversations and stuff with hundreds of thousands of people. And it's like, who's the Republican version of this? Who's the Libertarian version of this? And I mean, we can go to Thomas Massie, kind of, I guess. Justin Amash, kind of. But are they playing Twitch with hundreds of thousands of users? No. So there is a really big opening for us to have those cultural conversations. But I don't know if we're going to necessarily have the most success using the GOP. And I say that because, to your point, there is a really big negative perception from a vast majority of Americans when you instantly mention the GOP or the red team, and vice versa. I mean, you tell anybody in a rural red area that you're a Democrat, and I'm sure they're going to look at you like you have 5 heads. So there is kind of this again, going back to the yin and yang between these two different camps. So I think looking at the Libertarians, be they big L or little l, we have to kind of go into, if you're going to go to the big L camp, be the candidate. Like, try to be as open and trying to promote whatever it is that bedbug issue is for your specific locality, right? So if lockdowns are the biggest thing impacting your area, you go after lockdowns. If the war on drugs is the biggest issue, you go after the war on drugs. Civil asset forfeiture, yada, yada, yada. But then if you're going to use the GOP or the Democratic Party as a platform and really as a tool to enact whatever it is you're looking to enact, whether it's trying to catch people's attention like Ron Paul, get policy into action like Rand Paul's doing, I don't care, right? At the end of the day, just decide what you're going to do and then use that party to enact that. So you look at somebody like Rand Paul. Rand Paul is using the Republican Party to reach people that otherwise he would just absolutely not be able to reach to if he had an L next to his name. That's just a fact. Like, you can't just look at Rand Paul and be like, oh yeah, he would have just as much success. It's like, no, he wouldn't. But to the same point, right? We look at folks like Gary Johnson, and Gary Johnson went from being an R to getting the L next to his name, and instantly just drops in the support. And that's because Americans don't trust us yet. Why do Americans not trust libertarians? Because we haven't really given them a reason to. We've been able to talk a good game, but we haven't been able to show value, especially in those local elections. So to kind of take this and put a nice bow on it, what I would say is, libertarians out there, if you are looking to run for office, I would 1,000% encourage you, run local.